Hey, good day, folks. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We're going to be, this video, as you guys saw, it's going to be a longer video. It's going to be way longer than my commentary. So, all I ask you guys to do is, when I get, even after my commentary, just continue to watch the video to see more of Brownsburg. So, yeah, we're going to be driving through Brownsburg, Indiana, which is an Indianapolis suburb. Now, some people may argue in the comment section and tell me, oh, this ain't a suburb. Now, me personally, I consider this to be a suburb because it's within a half hour of Indianapolis. Brownsburg is located 21 miles northwest of Indianapolis. That is from downtown Indianapolis. The population is currently sitting at 28,973 people, with a 36.1% population growth as of the 2020 census. The population during the 2010 census was 21,285 people. And Brownsburg, for the most part, has been growing ever since they began to record the census back in the mid-1800s. So here's a brief history of Brownsburg. James B. Brown was the first settler here in 1824. The first log schoolhouse was built here in 1828. William Harris settled north of what is now Main Street, selling wood to incoming pioneers. In 1835, this city's original name was Harrisburg, but later changed to Brownsburg since the name Harrisburg was already being used by a post office in another Indiana county. Brownsburg tripled in land size from 6 to 16 acres and built its first church in and all that happened, I want to say, I forgot when that happened, but anyways, in 1985, a part of the movie Hoosiers was filmed in the former College Avenue gym. And that is your brief history of Brownsburg. Now, as far as the racial demographics, you got 90% white, 3.4% black, 2.6% Asian, 3.1% Hispanic. If you're looking to live here in Brownsburg, you will pay a little bit of money for housing. I mean, your median rent prices are going to go from $940 to $2,030 a month. It's a lot of money there. Hope you guys got that money. Now, your median home price is currently at $312,000. The cheapest house you're going to be able to purchase here is going to be priced at $285,000. So if you're looking to move here to Brownsburg, have at least $285,000 to purchase a home if you're looking to purchase. And obviously, although I do videos of suburbs, as for those of you guys that have been watching my channel for any length of time at this point, you know that I'm a small town type of person. I'm too broke for suburban living, and I don't really do the city thing these days. So with that being said, I personally wouldn't live here because I'm too broke too. And secondly, I'm not much into suburban living. But I would say for those of you that are into suburban living, I would say this would be a decent place to live. I mean, me personally, I would live here over many of the suburbs of Hamilton County because Now, granted, I'm recording this video over the weekend, so that's the reason why you guys don't see near the amount of traffic that you would most likely see having I been recording this video during the week. However, the traffic here compared to, let's say, Fishers or Noblesville, and definitely compared to Carmel, is going to be significantly less. And your median home prices here are going to be cheaper as well. Now, me personally, I mean, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the suburbs in Hamilton County. I mean, I will say when it comes to employment opportunities, Hamilton County definitely has a lot more going on than what's down here in Brownsburg. And I forgot what this county was called. But anyways, this general part of greater Indianapolis doesn't have as much opportunity as the northern part does. That's what I meant to say. I mean, they got opportunities around here, let's not get it twisted, but it's just, you know, there's a lot more money that is in Hamilton County than what's down here. But if I had to pick a suburb to reside in, and my choices were this one or the suburbs up in Hamilton County, I would probably pick down here because it's, you know, it's a little cheaper and there's not quite as much traffic. So, you know, let's see what other people got to say about this area. Okay, out of 130 reviews on Niche, Brownsburg scores a 4 out of a 5-star rating. And here's the general breakdown. 33 people say this place is an excellent place to live. 66 people say this place is very good. 25 say this place is average. 4 people say this place is poor. 2 people say this place is terrible. And if you're new to my channel, I do not read every comment because that would take way entirely too long for me to do. And it would get redundant after a while. Typically, I try to read 2 to 3 comments per category. I typically start with excellent and I work myself down to terrible. So with that being said, let's get going. And this first comment is going to be a 5-star. This is from 5 months ago, so it's fairly recent. I love living in Brownsburg. It is safe and quiet. My parents live in Brownsburg as well. I love the convenience of them being nearby. I visit often. Everyone I have encounters with are so friendly. And that in itself, in my opinion, does hold a lot of weight when looking for a place to live. Because anymore, you got so many places, especially in many of your suburbs, where it's not going to be friendly. People are going to just do whatever. They're going to be either A, they're going to be to themselves, or B, they're just going to be a bunch of jerks. Because they're miserable, because they probably overpaid for their house and now they're having to work 2.5 jobs, plus they're going to have 3 roommates. So anyways, here's the second 5-star comment from 7 months ago. I moved into the neighborhood earlier this year and my experience so far has been very great. Everyone I've encountered here have been very nice and friendly. Brownsburg is a very good neighborhood for kids to grow in. It is also a peaceful neighborhood. Furthermore, it's a diverse neighborhood and no race or ethnic group feels inferior to one another. With all the mass shootings and other crimes that are rampant in the county. I've never felt safe anywhere. Oh, in the country, not the county. He meant with all the mass shootings in the country. I've never felt safe anywhere than I have in this neighborhood. In this neighborhood, I can move around freely without having to be on the lookout for any crimes happening. In conclusion, Brownsburg is literally the best neighborhood I've ever lived in. Everyone is one here. There is no such thing as racial discrimination or prejudice here. It's a safe place in general. It's a safe place in general. I would advise people to move to Brownsburg because of all of its good attributes and the opportunities that come with it. Alrighty. We'll go with one more. This is from 8 months ago. It's another 5-star. I've lived in Brownsburg my whole life, and I honestly love it. It has a small town feel, even though it does have its attractions. The schools are very good, the parks are fun, and it's a pretty safe town in general. Would recommend anyone to live here. And you know, due to people that feel like that, which is a good thing, I'm guessing that could be one of the main reasons why that the housing prices here are so high. And the housing market here is fairly busy. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. The housing market here is fairly competitive. So I think there's a lot of truth to what these people are saying. But let's keep on going. You know, I try to look at things with an open mind. So let's keep on going. Okay, this first comment is this comment I'm getting ready to read. It's a 4-star, and this first one, which is a 4-star, is from 12 months ago. I think Brownsburg is a very welcoming place and a great place for young parents with young children. There are lots of options for schools, and the big district makes finding a neighborhood easy. The change I would like to see is maybe more options for people of lower income housing. And you know, me myself, I am not wealthy, not even close to it. I have made some bad financial decisions myself, which is the reason why I'm not wealthy today. I've lived in neighborhoods that were lower income, and you know, if your money is low, it is what it is. You gotta survive. You gotta go where you gotta go. And I'm not knocking. And for those of you that live in low income communities, don't take what I'm getting ready to say as any kind of disrespect. I'm just stating the facts here. Now, for those of you that want areas like this to have more low-income communities, I'm going to tell you straight up. If that were to happen, many of you same people would be crying about, oh man, this high crime here. The neighborhoods are ran down. Like some of the riffraff that many of you people, like many of you people that may have moved here from other places, like maybe Indianapolis or some other city that may have been higher crime. For those of you that desire low income housing in this city, I'm going to tell you straight up, if that were to happen, it would change the whole dynamic of the city. I mean, the city that you see and experience today, but it wouldn't be the same. And I'm going to tell you straight up, it would not be the same. You would be here on Niche, giving the city a 1 or 2 star, crying about how the crime has went through the roof, and you and your family, you're packing up your stuff, you're getting ready to move, you're going to sell your house, and then you will also see your property value depreciate, and it would just be a whole mess. I mean, what you would see would be another Indianapolis, or it may be another Anderson or something like that. And again, I don't mean no disrespect to Anderson. I used to live in Anderson, lived there for many years. I got friends in Anderson. But these days, you got parts of Anderson that have became very questionable. And that's how Brownsburg would turn out to be if there were too many low-income communities here. Again, I mean no disrespect, I'm just stating facts. Okay, let's keep going. Now this next one is another 4-star. It's from January of 2023. Brownsburg, Indiana has a small town feel, but is growing. The school system is large, but still has medium-sized classrooms. I would like to see less housing additions and warehouses going up and more businesses coming in. Okay. And again, that sounds good, and that definitely would bring more tax revenue to the city, and it would most likely also increase your city property taxes. I'm pretty sure many of you pay a fairly high property tax as it is already, just given the median home prices or values in the city. And also, more businesses here will also increase the traffic. So if you want to see what a suburb with a bunch of businesses close by would look like in terms of the traffic, I would invite you guys to drive up into Hamilton County, drive up into Fishers, drive up into Carmel, drive up into Noblesville, and then let me know how you feel about more businesses being close into your area. The fact that you guys are located conveniently within a half hour of Indianapolis. I mean, if I was you and I was living out there, I would be happy just driving into Indianapolis as opposed to having a bunch of traffic in my neck of the woods. But that's me. So let's keep going. We'll go one more. This is from October of 2022, another 4-star. The town of Brownsburg is a great place to raise a family. It is a community feel without being a small town. The schools are great. Alrighty, we're going to go to average. This first one is a 3-star from 9 months ago. I have lived in Brownsburg my whole life. It used to be this cute small town. Over the past few years, it has boomed with housing additions. The town no longer has a small town feel. I would like to see the town prioritize its citizens. With the town's growth, it has raised the cost of living exponentially and cluttered what used to be fields, the cookie-cutter homes, apartments, and warehouses. Greed has taken over this town and has shown those who live here what matters. I miss the back roads where you could see nothing but land for miles. I miss being able to see the sunset. Instead, all I see are stoplights and buildings and that remain unknown. I love how safe it is when in Brownsburg. I love how safe it was in Brownsburg, sorry. But over the past couple of years, there has been an increase in violent crime in the area. High schoolers shouldn't be getting shot and killed in this quiet suburb. Change has yet to come, and if Brownsburg cared, they would take the steps in the right direction. Okay, well, for those of you that move to the suburbs and you pay all this extra money for housing, which, on the surface is understandable that you do if you got the money, that article that I just read should just go to proof that, sometimes even in these suburbs, you're still not going to be immune from certain type of violent criminal activity. I mean, granted, it's not going to happen as much out here as it would in parts of Indianapolis, but you're not going to be completely immune from it. It's not going to be one of those type of situations where you're going to just buy you a home and you can leave our doors open overnight and be good. Let's keep going. Here's another 3-star from 9 months ago. For Indiana, it's pretty good. We have really good schools with a lot of APs and opportunities. Most people are Republican, but at least they are nice. Okay, that's good to know. Let's do one more. This one is from June of 2020. It's a 3-star. There's nothing inherently special about Brownsburg. It's an average town with slightly less average people. For a town right outside of Indianapolis, there is far too much traffic at the center of town for no particular reason. The people are also okay at best. Besides the people who you are to call your friends. For every nice person you meet, there's at least one other person who you're not going to get along with. Okay, that sounds about like life. You know what? We'll go one more. Here's another 3-star from June of 2020. Overall, Brownsburg is a great community to live in. There are many opportunities that are provided. In my lifetime, I've attended 3 Brownsburg public schools, and I have learned so much. I am truly prepared for my college journey. Okay, this person's younger. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna go down the line to poor. Okay, this one is from 9 months ago. It's a 2-star. Okay. The Brownsburg City School is terrible. Brownsburg likes to spend a lot of money expanding and tries to make itself much more like a big place like Carmel, despite having what used to be a nicer town feel. As Brownsburg continues to expand, it progressively makes itself worse in more ways. I thought that Brownsburg was decent when I first moved here, but after years of living in this area, I have grown to have a great distaste to this town. Now, a little bit ago, the person that was wanting to see more affordable housing communities be built, you know, that comment I just read kind of helps indicate, should help you indicate. That comment I just read should kind of, I don't know what wording to use, but if more affordable housing options were here in Brownsburg, you would have more, like I said before, man, that comment I just read is just, that's basically what I was saying a little bit ago. I can't come up with the proper wording of what I wanted to say. My apologies. Let me keep on going. Okay, here's another 2-star. This one is a little older. It's from December of 2016. Brownsburg is a very cliquish, and since most of the people who live here grew up here, it's not the easiest place to live if you don't have deep roots. I also found the people here to be very arrogant and condescending. They're incredibly proud of their schools, but frankly, I was disappointed. They value conformity above all. Fit in or else. Consider Plainfield if you have to live on the west side of Indianapolis. Better yet, consider another metro if you can. And I done a video of Plainfield. Now, when I done my Plainfield video, I mean, back, that was, I don't know, I think that was about a couple of years ago, something like that. But back when I did my Plainfield video, I haven't, that I did things a little differently on this channel at that point. But if you're gonna move to Plainfield, I mean, personally, I can't. I mean, I never lived in Plainfield, so I can't speak on Plainfield a whole lot. Now, one of my exes that I used to date, she comes from Plainfield. Her family to this day, they still live in Plainfield. Now, I remember back in 2010 when I first moved into the state of Indiana, when I first moved into Indianapolis, there were a lot of people that talked about how Plainfield had a racial problem. Now, I don't know how true that is today, but Plainfield does have a record. Plainfield does have a history of that. So, if you're, I'm not saying Plainfield is a bad place to live, but just from some of the things I've heard about Plainfield, it's probably not gonna. Now, I would say as far as it goes for crime, the crime in Plainfield is going to be a little lower because Plainfield is a lot smaller compared to Brownsburg. Well, maybe not. Well, it's a little smaller. But I don't know. I think when it comes to Plainfield, you might want to, if you want to live in Plainfield, you might want to go ahead, check it out. Don't just automatically assume that Plainfield is going to be better because people say it's going to be better compared to Brownsburg. Now, I don't know how true the racial issue in Plainfield is today, but I know back in the day that's what I've heard. So, if you're going to live in Plainfield and you're a minority, or you're interracially dating, or you got a multi-race family, that's something that you might want to take into consideration when you go into Plainfield. And again, I don't know if they got that issue today or not. I'm just telling you guys what people have told me several years ago. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, now this next one, you know what? We're going to skip down to terrible. Now this first one is from 9 months ago. It's a 1-star. To be honest, this town has its nice people, and then it has its rude people. A lot of stuff is changing, like construction-wise. A lot of stuff is changing, like construction-wise. And the town is getting more stores, and the area's built to where there would be more stuff to do, which is good, because before there really was nothing to do and nowhere to go. The school system is accelerated and good. Also, people here can be very rude, racist, stuck up, and the people get mad over little stuff. They are privileged and always want to get there. If they can't get their way, they get mad. A lot of Brownsburg people I notice is mostly predominantly white and funny acting towards foreign people. And that last sentence I read was basically what people told me about Plainfield. Okay, this next one, and it's going to be the last one. It's a 1-star. It's from 2020, May of 2020. It is an average city with big housing complexes. Does have mostly rich people. Anytime I or other people of color who are young, and then in parentheses they put teens to early teens and 20s, that I know, we get stopped by the cops. I have been stopped when I was following all the rules. I got stopped because I didn't turn my right signal fast enough. exactly 200 feet from the corner. They let you go with a warning and follow me out of town. Well, that sounds about familiar. I mean, there's been times where I've been followed out of town in some of the suburban communities. I mean, not just here in Indiana, but in other states. So that sounds about, that sounds about. I mean, one place that, I mean, well, never mind. I'm not going to go there, but yeah, that sounds about right. All right, folks, that's going to do it for my commentary. I mean, there's still 28 minutes left of the video, so I would encourage you to continue to watch the video, or if your time is short, you can come back and watch the rest of it later. And if you like what you see and you want to help me out, all you got to do is give videos like this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. All that will be helpful for the growth of my channel. And for those of you that have already done all that, I appreciate every last one of you. Another way that you can help out my channel, and you can also help out some of the people that might want to reside in some of these communities, is to leave a comment below and give us all your 2 cents. And give all of us your 2 cents, yeah. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for today's commentary. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you on the next one.